Like the majority of colleges across the United States, in March 2020, Cornerstone University was forced to shut down its campus. Learning spaces had to be completely deserted. Only the echoes of students and professors exercising their intelligence were left behind. What many may not realize is that COVID-19 has had just as drastic of an effect on college professors as it has had on students. In true COVID-19 fashion, we connected to Dr. McDonald, a professor of psychology at Cornerstone, through a Zoom call, where she shared her initial reaction relating to these events.
I think myself and my colleagues were a little shell shocked, but then also just realizing that this was, so what we had to do.
Like most professors around the country, the shutdown came to Dr. McDonald and the rest of Cornerstone's faculty completely out of the blue.
Yeah, it has challenged myself and my colleagues who have similar teaching styles to figure out how do we continue to emphasize relational teaching and learning while we're in this physically distanced type of environment.
Dr. McDonald is not the only professor that has experienced a variety of struggles. Dr. Rachel Hammond, a member of Cornerstone's business division, voices some of the aspects that she and her colleagues have had to consider.
Part of how you learn is through engaging with the material and engaging with others. And so if they're not able to effectively engage with others, then the learning is limited.
The online format has caused some professors to completely reconfigure their teaching plans and styles.
My main method of teaching does not revolve around lecture. I am a very hands-on type of educator, so I always have students in small groups. We usually have, pieces of paper or cardstock and markers.
A certain level of creative thinking has been essential for professors in their new teaching environments. Professors care very deeply for their relationships established with their students, but they also care about the relationships established with their colleagues as well. Dr. Rachel Hammond brings up a very interesting point about how these relationships have been affected.
I've just seen a lot of students come in, they've just got a lot to say, a lot to share. They're going through really difficult times. They need someone to talk to. I don't think faculty and staff are much different in needing that, but we don't have the mechanisms in place to do it right now.
The busyness and extra time taken out of their work schedules has made interaction even more difficult, but not impossible.
For me, it always comes back to intentionality. So who am I reaching out to? With our Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching, we've scheduled some lunches so that people can get together and talk about what's going on. We have a panel discussion next week to talk about relational learning, kind of along these same lines.
This pandemic and its effects still bring into question when Cornerstone University and its faculty will be allowed to return to their normal routines. The collaborative nature that breeds community is greatly missed, but Dr. McDonald brings up the point that this pandemic cannot and will not stop the personal growth and education taking place at her institution.
Even though there has been so much difficult circumstance surrounding this pandemic, it has also been a beautiful thing to see people come together and work together in new ways and find new avenues to collaborate.
With a faculty as bright as this, there is no doubt that Cornerstone will continue to roll with the punches, pushing their students to be brighter and better than ever before. This is Kennedy McDonald with Com 101 News.